welcome to Catholic Current, where we give you an update on events affecting the Church in the United States. From Washington, D.C., I'm Mara Moser. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Throughout the year, but especially in the month of April, we are asked to increase awareness, educate ourselves and the community, and seek healing for those who have been so tragically impacted by this horror. I spoke recently with Bishop James Johnston, chair of the Committee on the Protection of Children and Young People, about the Charter for the Protection of Children and Young People, which was passed in Dallas, Texas. So what has changed these last 20 years since the passage of the Dallas Charter?
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anywhere that people have not noticed that the Church has changed quite a bit in just terms of protecting our youth, and not only just talking about it, but taking practical steps to make that more effective through background checks, through training, through mandated reporting, protocols, and basic education around not just our clergy and employees, but even our lay volunteers about what to look for and what to notice in terms of making a safe environment. The other things that have changed, I believe, are accountability. You know, that when something happens, we act upon it. That's changed radically, not only now in the United States, but throughout the world. But I believe it began with what we did here in the United States. And I guess the third thing is that, and this is one thing that we're still trying to get better and better at, and we're going to have to continue to work on, and that's the work of healing, the ongoing work of healing with survivors, victim survivors of clergy sexual abuse. So those are three areas that I know have changed drastically over the last 20 years. It's not to say that we can't still improve. I mean, that's part of what we work on is learning from our experience now of 2 decades of doing this. What's been going well? What are the areas that we still have a lot of work to do in? And so it's an ongoing process. I'm a former engineer, and so we used to always talk about feedback loops. And so I think in this whole area, we've got a built-in feedback loop to where we're continuing to try to assess what we're doing and to not be satisfied or drift into complacency again. This is still and it will always be an urgent priority for the Church.
You can learn more about this important issue at usccb.org. This week in St. Peter's Square, the Pope delivered a special Easter message of life and hope to the city of Rome and to the world, celebrating the resurrection of our Lord.
Let the Church and the world rejoice, for today our hopes no longer come up against the wall of death, for the Lord has built us a bridge to life. Yes, brothers and sisters, at Easter, the destiny of the world was changed, and on this day, which also coincides with the most probable date of Christ's resurrection, we can rejoice to celebrate, by pure grace, the most important and beautiful day of history.
All of us at Catholic Current wish you a very joyful and blessed Easter season. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Catholic Current. You can find out more about any of this week's topics by visiting us online at usccb.org or follow us on social media at usccb. I'm Mara Moser. See you next week.